Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, an actual play podcast. Every episode is a micropod in a complete adventure with a beginning and an end that fits into an overarching macro plot of the whole season. Because they stand sturdily on their own, you can listen to these adventures in any order and can skip any you don't enjoy. Today we are playing using the mechanics from the one-pager Mall Zombies by W.H. Arthur. It's our first time playing, so we might make some mistakes. If you enjoy these mechanics, you can find Mall Zombies on DriveThruRPG. Build your own Mall Zombies character and play a game with friends. Speaking of friends, today I am joined by Sadie.
Hi, everyone. And then she just doesn't talk anymore. She is a 5'5", 130-pound Macrotus elf. She has light blue eyes and super pale skin and white hair, and her ears stick out like as flat as the horizon and almost as long.
Bartholomew.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Bartholomew Salvador. I am a 6'2" human man with auburn hair, white skin, and blue eyes, wearing a green regimental coat with beige facings, beige breeches, and a black tricorn hat. And today I have another poem to read out. It's another one of my classics, Bell Tower. Was once a call to law and order under noble few, became the sound of liberty to those who scarcely knew. As the years had come and gone, the tower bell doth clamour, not the sound of liberty, but death doth it enamor.
Very nice. Armando.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Armando Contenza Villano de Medici. I am a human being. I am 31 years old. My hair is a very dark brown. It goes to my shoulders. Let's see, what else? I have a fabulous mustache. My eyes are amber in color. A little bit light, like, kind of like you turn on a electrical light bulb and what you are looking at that's the kind of the color of my eyes. Let's see what else. My clothing is perfectly suited for a sword fighter. It is not too tight. It is not too loose. I have a standard brown set of trousers, a loose but still form-fitting shirt, and a long sword at my side to impose a justice if necessary.
Thank you. So we are going to start our adventure today as you are all sitting inside the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild, happily enjoying a drink and some food together. What are your characters doing this morning before they arrived at the guild? Bart, what were you doing this morning before you arrived?
I would be writing new poetry because I'm running out of material for my next magazine. And one of the things I would be doing this morning, of course, doing that, but also drinking a nice cup of coffee, as I'd always do.
What about you, Armando?
So, many people think I am a transient, but that is not accurate. I enjoy the great outdoors and I sleep in a tent a little bit outside the city of Nicomoy. Usually my routine is I wake up when the sun rises. I put out the last bit of the embers, the fire, and then I'll practice forms like, sword fighting forms that my master taught me many years ago. I have to keep it fresh as often as possible. So every day that is my routine.
I believe that last episode we were in together, we were talking about how we both are campers and camp outside of Nicomoy. Or maybe I'm misremembering, but yes, I camp outside of Nicomoy as well. Perhaps we are set up together at some point. Or we had talked about doing that at some point.
We can go camping. You seem like a noble man, and I am perfectly okay spending my time and my shared space with you. So that is something we can talk about in the future.
Yes.
I'm still warming up to people generally, so I'm kind of a loner. So I'm not ready for that quite yet, but I knowing your the kind of man that you are, I would accept the invitation, but just please give me time.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And Sadie, what were you doing this morning?
Sadie woke up in her luxurious bedroom in her parents' not mansion, but McMansion, It has grounds.
Mansion.
Yeah, and so she like, I think a butler brought her breakfast on like a tray. You know, she checked her stock portfolio before she headed out. So she's like incredibly awkward around you guys. And she's sitting at a guild table not eating breakfast because she already did. And she's like, can I have a tea? And Nusi's like looking at all the beer and liquor and being like, do we have tea? I don't, it's like they're very awkwardly. And she's like, oh, no, if you don't have tea, it's okay. I'm fine. And so she's sitting there with water.
Brilliant. Okay, so from the corner of your eyes, you see a unfamiliar gentleman walking towards you all. His cloth is poor and his appearance withered, maybe with age and maybe with experience. He greets you all. I'm sorry to bother you, but I bring a letter from my master. May I give it to you?
So I am a big fan of mail. And as you can imagine, I do not get a lot of mail out in my tent. So this is an opportunity for me to experience the pleasure of getting something addressed to me. So I will say, oh yes, my good man, I will be more than happy to take your letter. And so I extend my hand for him to put the letter in my hand, so as not to appear too aggressive in snatching the letter from his hand.
Thank you. And he very sort of, his hand is wiggling as he passes it to you. I am weary from my travels. Would you mind me taking a seat so I may rest my feet with you?
Certainly, you may rest your feet. I am not a foot rester, so I will not rest my feet with you. But you may sit next to me while I read the letter, and if I have any questions, you'll be right there. We can have a conversation. But I think the drinks and stuff are close to free, if not free. I'm new to this guild, but if you want to get something, you can get something. And if it costs some money, I will pay.
Oh, thank you. What is your name again? Sorry.
Oh, apologies. My name is Armando Contenza Vilano de Medici. You may call me Armando.
Thank you, Armando. And your friends here? This letter is also addressed to them, I believe. I was given a description of the three of you, but not the names.
I look down at the letter, and there is a strikingly accurate description of all three of us. It's like addressed to tall sword fighter with handsome mustache. There is a man with the tricorn hat and the regimental coat, and I would assume that is Bartholomew. And then beautiful lady with the opulent dress. Sadie, I believe that's you. So I am impressed that whoever is writing the letter knows what we look like, and now I start peering toward the windows suspiciously.
So you don't see anything in the windows, but you definitely continue on having that suspicion. The older man, the messenger, looks between Bartholomew and Sadie, waiting for them to also read the letter as well.
Before she even reads the letter, Sadie can tell that this guy is slightly in pain. And so she takes out from her bag, a crystal, and it's really pretty. It's like imagine a magical healing crystal with like cool white light energy. And, it's like awesome looking. And then she says, would you like some 2-acetoxy benzoic acid?
I don't know what those words mean, unfortunately. What does it do exactly?
It makes you feel better.
How so?
Lick it.
Lick it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I am able to. I think I might leave it, to be honest. It sounds... my master always tells me never to take anything you don't understand.
Wise words. How about this? And he hands him a cup of coffee. This might make you feel much better.
Oh, now that's something I do understand. Thank you. And he starts sipping it, but his hands are still quite badly shaking as he's sort of dripping parts of the coffee down his very poor cloth.
Looking back at the crystal, Sadie, what does this do exactly?
Well, We don't really know. We think maybe it's a cyclooxygenase inhibitor, but it also increases endogenous anandamide.
I also don't know what those words mean. But you
Everyone
may
looks at
take
you
this back.
puzzled.
I don't think
actually-
anyone knows what those words mean. Don't worry, Bartholomew.
Perhaps my mother would know. She's a surgeon. She's in the medical field. Perhaps you would be able to know be able to explain to her what this is and have a nice conversation with her if you ever meet her.
She looks terrified at the prospect of meeting a new person. You can tell it was really hard for her to talk to this person, and the only reason why she was able to overcome her stuttering is because they needed healing.
Aw.
So she's like, that sounds nice.
Love it. Okay, so who's reading the letter? Who's going to read it out?
I will hand it to Bartholomew to read the letter. While he is accepting the letter, I'm going to get this old man whose name I did not catch because I did not ask. So I feel very ashamed that I did not introduce, do the pleasantries. So I'm going to get this man a napkin, like something to cover his cloth so he does not get all dirty. And then I will also get him a nice grilled cheese sandwich because he looks hungry, and that is a very substantial food and that is can be prepared very quickly. So I get the sandwich, I get the napkin, I give it to the man, and I say, "Pardon me, while we are reading your letter, can you tell me your name, since you know all of us now, and the name of your master?"
You can call me servant, and my master is the master. Thank you for the sandwich. It's very delicious. So, who's reading it again? Sorry, Bartholomew. Okay. So on the letter, you open it up. It's very well gilded, this letter, and very well written inside. The words read, "I trust my servant has faithfully delivered this letter into the hands of the esteemed fire-breathing kittens. Your existence holds cosmic allure, and I beseech your aid in an ethereal quest I endeavor to fulfill. Within the tapestry of time and space, you each pursue a fragment of your lineage, and I, humble celestial traveler, offer the means to acquire such relics. In exchange, I seek but the chronicles of your past. Deliver unto me 6 artifacts, and the treasure you seek shall be unveiled." And that is the end of the letter. And it's not signed anything. That is the only words on the letter.
How mysterious. Well, there is something I've lost on my way here to Nicomoy. A silver locket that belonged to my father and his father's father as a gift way back from a man who's still alive, who helped liberate my town long ago. Just the frustrations of having lost that silver pocket watch still haunts me to this day. But it says that the two of you would also have lost something.
I have lost many things in my life. Many of those things are either easily replaceable or were probably pretty negative. So I'm not too broken up about losing them. However, maybe I'm forgetting something from early on, or who knows. I am curious about this quest. It sounds full of intrigue and adventure, and I am ready.
What about you, Sadie?
I probably haven't. And she looks around, and she's like looking for around the room, and as she turns her head, one ear has an earring on it and one ear doesn't, and she's like, "I don't think I've lost anything."
Is it typical for people to wear a pair of earrings and missing one from the pair? Or is that normal fashion?
Oh, most people wear 2.
Why are you wearing one?
She raises her hands up to her ears, and she just looks so sad. She's like, "No, my mama's earrings."
Well, that's 2 for 3.
I am sure there is something, like I can complete the set. Maybe this celestial traveler has something for me. I have no idea what it could be, but I am willing to investigate. And plus, we can find your pocket watch and her earring, and at least you guys can be made whole. I am a team player, or at least I'm trying to learn to be, so let's try to do that. Although, I would like to state for the record with all of you that this letter is highly suspicious. There are no names, and this guy's name is Servant, and I put it in air quotes with my fingers because that is very weird. And then his master's name is Master, and I also add air quotes again. And I look at him and say, no offense, please enjoy the sandwich and the coffee. But don't you think this is a little bit weird, like maybe a trap or something?
I am required to show you the way if you accept. My master is a powerful being, one able to travel through many times and realities. He gave me back my life, and I devoted the rest of my life in his service. I cannot expect you to trust me for now, but if these things are things you want, then it's up to you if you wish to take the risk. But I will tell you from experience that my life was changed once I met the master.
Sadie's looking at Bartholomew like she has no idea what's normal outside of her McMansion that she spends most of her time. So like Armando's saying that this person is suspicious. She's looking at Bartholomew like, are they not? I don't know.
Bartholomew also being sheltered, only having grown up in his hometown, only making it to, well, he lives in Pine Drake, which is a little bit away from Shelton, and that's the only other town he knows. To him, that's a big town, which if you know Shelton and know its description, it is not a big town, but compared to his own, it's the biggest town he knows. And then he's come to Nicomoy, so he's also a fish out of water. So Sadie looking up to Bartholomew. Bartholomew, he's 6 foot. How tall is Armando? Am I looking up or down to Armando?
I think it is pretty even. I'm about 6 foot 2 inches, 165 pounds. If you are interested, very lean but very strong.
I look directly into the eyes of Armando, neither looking up nor down, but directly as a man to man, and looking for guidance as, maybe you're onto something, but...
Well, I cock an eyebrow, and I say, maybe. I mean, I'm suspicious of everyone, so don't take my word for it. I'm kind of like the opposite extreme of these two. And so I say, I know, so Bartholomew, we have died together, and we have come back together. So how much worth could this be, right? So I'm not afraid.
What?
And it's a long story, Sadie. We can tell you on the way. So what we can do is I say we do it. And both of you seem very capable, and I can assure you I am very capable as well. So I would be curious to find your earring and your pocket watch and see what this adventure has for us. However, I would like to ask the servant a question. You say you are indebted to this master because he saved your life, and now you are extending a similar offer to us. Does this mean that we are going to be indebted to this master guy?
No, that is your choice. I gave the master my life because he helped me beyond the words I could give, and I had nothing left to give, so I gave what I could to this master.
So to be clear, and I like to get all the terms up front, please, believe me. All he is looking for is like a story or something from us?
He wishes to, as I told you minutes ago, that he can travel through many times and realities, but requires the help and assistance of others to travel.
This is not going to be some kind of weird cult thing or like... So I have seen many things in this world, and I just want to know what I'm getting into. This paper is like a contract, right? Like we can be assured that this is all that is required of us.
Yes. All the master requires is those artifacts, and they will be able to give you what you seek.
So I look at Sadie and I look at Bartholomew and I give a slight nod, like almost imperceptible, but they can know that it's like, okay, I think this is all right.
I've heard of stories from other senior fire-breathing kittens that have spoken to the newbies that have wandered through the guild halls, asking questions about, is something like this real and possible? And they go on their what seem to be tall tales about going through time and space and going to different worlds and doing very odd things that seem completely out of the ordinary. And now I'm starting to believe this will be, well, as you say, Armando, we've already died and come back to life. And that is something I would have never believed, but apparently it's something that could happen. What's not to say this is something that can also happen? and something even more death-defying than even this. So, Fire-Breathing Kittens has had us delve into worse things, it seems like. What's this to anything else? I'm all for it. Let's be brave and head into the darkness.
When Bartholomew says brave, I am inspired, So I'm like, yes, we should be brave. And so I turn to Sadie. I delicately take the crystal out of her hand that is glowing, and I lick it like that, and I put it back in her hand just to see what will happen. Like, I don't even know, but I am brave like Bartholomew is brave. So let's do that.
I may be brave, but I'm not that brave to lift the stairs crystal from Sadie. You have no idea what she has packed up in there.
What does
Armando, you feel less of a headache.
Ooh, my head is more clear, and the time that it took for it to go from less clear to more clear was almost instantaneous. I do believe this crystal is something special. However, Sadie, do you clean this crystal like between licks? Or am I licking like what everybody else licked, and now I'm tasting all of these tongues from the past?
Doesn't seem very sanitary.
But it's effective. I mean, maybe that is part of the secret.
I should probably clean this more often, shouldn't I? I'm sorry.
Love it. Now, I could tell you what you need to find, what you require, these 6 artifacts. She told me that you would know what they mean, but if not, you will know once you start the journey. You will require a flower that blossoms only in summer, a quill dipped in the ink of duty, a coin tarnished with the tears of the innocent, a bell that rings with the sound of friendship, a ring that glistens in the sun of spring, and a rapier covered in the dust of tradition. I will wait by the door. Please follow me when you are ready. If you cannot find all of these items, the master will do what they can to aid you in the retrieval of your lineages.
GM, can you please repeat the characteristics of both the ring and the rapier? Or, you know what, all 6 of
all
them.
3,
Because
okay.
I'm trying to write down, but I'm not a very fast writer.
What, if I may interject, what I've got down is flower of summer, a quill of duty. I don't remember the third one, but the fourth one was the bell of friendship, a ring of spring, and a rapier of tradition.
The third one was the coin tarnished with the tears of the innocent.
So yeah, a flower in summer, a quill of duty, a coin of the tears of the innocent, a bell with friendship, a ring of spring, and a rapier of tradition.
Fascinating.
I hope these things are very well labeled, because I'm uncertain if we will find the right quill or rapier. There are many of them, but we will see. How are you enjoying this sandwich?
It was very delicious. May I take it with me on our journey?
You may have 2 sandwiches, if you like.
That is very generous.
This one will
of
have
you.
a multitude of cheeses. Nuthi is she is like a wizard with the grilled cheese.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
You must be careful, Armando. If you offer him too many sandwiches, our good friend Guvo might show up at any moment.
Where's my sandwiches?
We had better get a move on. I think that Guvo eats everything in sight.
Brilliant. Okay. So, as you all stand up ready to leave, following the gentleman that you just met, as you leave the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild through the main door as usual, you step into a long corridor, so long that you can barely see the end. The decoration is timeless. Dark pattern wallpaper lines the walls, and a gnarled wooden floor beneath you. There's just something so familiar about it, as though you've walked this corridor before, alone, but definitely some time in your past. As you look around to your left and right, you see 2 doors either side, facing one another. These doors differ in style and size, and you see a nameplate attached to each door. On the left, it reads Nikamoi Fencing Academy, and to your right, the door plate reads Father's Office. On inspection, you recognize these doors to be the entrances to places you know. So you can walk along the corridor just to get your bearings and see what the rest of it entails. Or you can obviously just investigate these 2 doors to begin with. I'll leave that to you.
Oh, I will turn to my friends. And when I see the nameplate for Nikamoy Fencing Academy, where I spend a majority of my youth, I turn to my friends and say, this door is like an exact replica of the door to the academy, where I spend most of my youth. So I also explain that to them. I say, I am very curious about what is behind this door, if it is going to be like the same thing. However, I am totally unfamiliar with Father's office. My father did have an office when he was alive, but I was not really allowed in there.
My father has an office.
Does this door look familiar?
What?
It looks identical to Sadie's father's office.
I nod. My one earring jingles.
So
this corridor that we entered, when we left the guild hall, we immediately entered into this corridor.
Yep.
Very strange. Already, Bartholomew is taken aback by this strange, anomalous world that he's just stepped into. Another dying and ending up in the world of the undead and finding your way back. And here we are, walking out of just the guild hall into this strange world after signing this. Did we sign a contract, or was it just accepting the quest? We just for accepting the quest, we walk into this corridor, and already I am filled with unease. My compatriots are recognizing doors that they remember from their past, similar to the last adventure I was on. We ended up in a waiting room that we all recognized. Strange. I wonder if it has any connections, or if this is normal for fire-breathing kittens, especially new recruits, to be on adventures such as this.
So, Bartholomew, I want to ask a question before I respond. Was any of that said out loud, or was that like internal monologue?
That was internal monologue.
Okay. So I will pretend I know nothing of what you just said, but I do see on your face it is reflected the concern.
So it would
so
be
I'm like,
concern.
He is worried about something, so I lean over to you, and I whisper and I say, hey, you should make sure your gun is loaded, just in case.
Yes, very, very well said, sir. Thank you. And Bartholomew actually gets his gun ready. Here's his weapon.
So you're going to investigate the rest of the corridor, or just investigate these 2 doors?
Oh, there is more corridor. I thought it was like a dead end and these doors.
It goes on.
My goodness.
You can't really see the end at this point from where you're standing.
So is the door on the right the father's office?
Yes.
Okay. So I turn to my friends and I say, I have been lost in many mazes. I don't know why I happen into many unusual places where I can get lost very easy. And so I use the right-hand rule, where I put my hand on the right wall and I follow it. And that is how you get out of the ways. And so this is a very strange corridor. I'm going to use the right-hand rule, which means, against my better judgment, we should go through the father's office and we will get to the fencing academy at the very end. Or maybe if you have another idea, I'm okay with that too.
I thought it was a left-hand rule for mazes. You always go left.
Ah, that's right. This is the fire-breathing kittens. They turn my world upside down. So number 1, they go left instead of right.
Of course.
So is that what we should do? I think that is on page 1 of the manual.
It's you.
I'm not sure. Should we split up, or should we all stay together?
We should not split up, please.
No, we will not split up. That is, Sadie, do not worry. But I will ask Sadie, what is your relationship with your father?
Well, he puts a roof over my head, and he taught me how to invest in finances. And he and my mom are really nice people. I've known him for 718 years.
718? Ah, elf.
You don't look a day over 23, to be honest with you, from my perspective.
So, what's the plan?
You know what? I will open the left door. I'm just going to open it because I am bold.
Okay, so Armando, you are heading into the door that's labeled Nikamoy Fencing Academy. As you open the door, it has the same feeling. The door feels as though you are literally being pulled into a memory of this place. This is a place that obviously you spent a lot of time in your adult and childhood. As you push the door, it feels the same. It has like a feeling that it's like when you opened it as a child. It's a little bit heavy. It has the same creaks. And as you open the door, you're sort of like pulled inwards, and the door shuts behind you. And you can now describe to me what this fencing academy looked like when you were a child.
So I'm overwhelmed. I'm feeling many things at once. Number one, the nostalgia of what I see is amazing. But at the same time, the door just closed behind me and my party is now with me. So that is very concerning because I just told Sadie that I would not split the party, and look at me right now. I'm all by myself. That is a very bad situation. I hope they open the door too. Wink, wink, players. So anyway, as I look around though, I am overwhelmed because this was like a sanctuary for me when I was little. I see many people just kind of around practicing, the sounds of the clanging of metal together, the encouragement of the teachers that is firm, but it's not like negative and aggressive. It is more encouraging. And so it's all coming back like, oh, this was my safe place when I was a little boy. And up through when I was became a man. I became a man here because I was taught by my teacher. And so like that rushes through my mind and I go, is he here? Is he here? And I start looking around for my old teacher.
So as you look around, you see your teacher basically practicing with one of the other students.
I am astonished because my teacher in present day, like real Nika my life, he has passed away. So this is clearly from before. And I look at him and I say to myself, it is Emil. Emil is here. And I start like trickling tears a little bit because I'm so overwhelmed. But then I slowly started walking. Like I forget about my party. No offense, party. You are wonderful people, but you are not Emil. So I started walking to Emil. And I don't even know what to say. My voice is all locked up. And I just see him in his gentle way teaching this young fencer how to properly do what he is going to do. And I get to like 6 feet away and I'm just watching.
Armando, it is good to see you. Have you brought your sword with you?
Emil, you know it is me? Of course I have my sword. You told me to always have my sword. It's right here, look. And I unsheath it. And as I unsheath it, there is like this flamenco guitar playing blah, 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 like that because that is just the way my sword is. And I show him that I have kept it clean and sharp.
So as you pull your sword out, expecting to have the one you have as an adult, you pull out and it's a small sword. And you look at your own hand and realize that you are a child in this memory.
This is very strange indeed. And so I feel to my face to see if I have my handsome mustache. Is my mustache on my face or no?
It's just coming through.
I say one day, this was going to be a masterpiece. And so I look at Emil, but still like I'm overwhelmed. And I know it is not appropriate. Like he has taught me better than to do this. But I sheath my sword and I rush over to him and I hug him as hard as I can. And the tears, they trickle a little bit more because this man was such a powerful influence on my life, and it has been years since I see him.
He sort of holds you and says, Armando, what is wrong with you? You're so emotional today. We're here to fight.
Yes.
Come on, lad. And he sort of pats you on the shoulder.
Yes, master.
And
I recognize the pat and the encouragement, and I just a big smile come on my face, and I wipe away my tears. Like, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to be the best.
Okay, so we will draw some cards. Emil turns to you and says, Amanda, will you get my sword for me? You're a good boy.
Oh, yes. And I know exactly where it is and which one is his sword. And to get his sword is an honor. So I walk over and I grab his sword gently and I carry it to him, making sure not to cut myself or to put dirty fingerprints all over it, you know? I'm a little kid, you know? I have dirty hands all the time.
Okay. So we've just drawn the first 3 cards. So you are, as you pick up the sword, Emilio goes, no, not that one. My sword. And he's sort of directing you to something as though you need to be looking for something. Something that you've been, as you sort of remind yourself, oh, wait, I'm supposed to be looking for something. There is an item that I've been told to look for. And Emil is sort of directing you to this somehow, as though you need to be looking for something specific.
Okay, and so in my mind, I kind of close my eyes and put my thumb to my finger like I'm counting the flower, the quill, the coin, the bell, the ring, the rapier. I bet the rapier is here. It's the sword fighting academy, of course. And so I look at to where Emil is pointing, and I follow his the direction of his finger. And I go, oh, it's probably over here. And so I start rummaging through the different things. And I know my way around swords. So I know, like, this is an epee, this is a saber. So these are not the things I don't think that I'm supposed to be looking for. I'm looking for the rapier.
Okay. So as you start looking around, you've drawn a 3 of hearts, a 10 of hearts, and a 9 of clubs. So as the listeners don't know what we're doing in this, each room that our players will be searching for, there is a deck of cards for each room. As the players will be searching through, they'll be looking to create basically a 3-card poker hand. The best one being a 3 of a kind or a straight flush. And then underneath that would be a straight or a flush. And then last would be a pair. And if they can't find anything, obviously they've not created any of those things. So currently you have 2 hearts, which would be a flush so far. Now you can push your luck and search elsewhere more heartily if you like right now. And what we do is, when we're searching harder, I will draw a new card for you and place it into the pile, hoping to create this poker hand, this 3-card poker hand, and hopefully getting the item that you seek. But for now, we'll pause with you. So as Armando has walked through this door, you see him instantly just sort of vanishing away. The door closes. What is Bart and Sadie doing in this very short moment of time?
So the door has vanished, correct?
It's just shut.
The moment he went,
it's just shut.
Oh, it's just shut.
Yeah.
Sadie, should we follow behind him?
He said that we wouldn't split up. So, it's a bit alarming that he then immediately did that. We should follow.
Yes, we shall. And Bartholomew reaches for the knob to turn it and open it.
Okay, so as you walk through the door into the Fencing Academy, as both of you do, the door obviously shuts behind you instantly. And you see this it's a very bright room. There is many people fencing. But a lot of these other characters, are turning to you looking very strange, as though you don't, that sort of thing where you don't belong here. Like, why are you here? And Armando, you see the rest of the people that you know, all the other children, the teachers, everyone's looking at your 2 friends now as though there's something strange about them and, they don't belong here. And a few of them are starting to get a little bit antsy by this for some weird reason. Like, this isn't normal for any of the people in that academy to be so standoffish, but as they walk through, they can see that some of them are even turning to face them. There's rapiers drawn as though they're ready to attack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Sadie is definitely very socially anxious. and immediately opens that door back up and goes right back through.
Where's Armando? Does Armando appear to me as an adult? Is Armando the adult anywhere around?
Yes. So you see him rummaging around some of the different sort of like wooden chests and stuff.
I look around and everyone else is giving me dirty looks or concerned looks, but Armando is over there already doing his thing. No one is very interesting. Bartholomew looks around and says, I must have the wrong room. Excuse me. He backs up as well.
I will make a note of I hear all the cacophony of swordplay die down. And this is very unusual. This almost never happened unless Emile is saying something. And he is not. So I turn, I stop, I look, and I see Sadie just walking out the door. I'm like, oh, my friends. And when I see them, do they appear to be like adults, like I know them, or are they younger like me?
They look, when you turn around and you see them walk through, they appear to you like ghostly, shade-like, as though they were weird, shadowy figures walking in and out. It's because you think to yourself in that moment that, well, they never existed in this time or this place, so how could they be here?
Oh. So, no, I am. My mind is putting it together as you explain, and so I rush over to the spirit, the see-through versions of Bartholomew and Sadie, and I say, hey, I think this is a memory, and you were never here before, so you are not present. Look at your hands. And I guess I'm just saying this to Bartholomew because Sadie has just walked out the door. It's like, to me, you look translucent. Remember, when we die, how we look? That is how you look now, to me.
I see.
And I put up my hand.
Well, you take care in this room.
I will be back as soon as I can. I think I'm supposed to be looking for the rapier, but just wait by the door, or if you want to go through the father's office, try to join Sadie in her door, and maybe we will, I don't know. I will trust your judgment, but I will try to get through this as quickly as possible.
Understood. And he tips his hat and then slips out.
I give him a salute with my
Very
sword.
respectfully.
Sure.
Yes.
Nice.
So back to me and Sadie.
Yeah.
Well, that was sort of shocking experience. Do you want to try this next door to your father's office?
Sure. And she turns the handle.
So as you turn the handle very slowly and very carefully, a sense of just calm and peace washes over you as you open this door, and you're brought into a very luxurious and opulent looking office that you'd instantly recognize. But this is, as I imagine, with characters of that level of lineage, the room hasn't changed much. But as you see a man huddled over a desk writing, he sort of turns to you and he looks, it's your father who looks about, well, to you, obviously hundreds of years younger, but he obviously looks younger than he does right now. And he smiles and he sort of beckons you over. But like I said, it instantly gives you this sense of just a sigh of just relief of being home, but at home at a time where life was even easier and even not as boring as you have come to feel that way, but just a sense of, the peace that washes over you. So what does this room look like to you?
It is an office. So it has bookshelves and a desk, and it has a fireplace, and it smells like the fireplace and the leather furniture, and her whole posture relaxes. She was a lot tenser than she realized being around people she'd only met a few times, and she looks way more relaxed here.
So your father sort of says, "Oh, Sadie, come here, dear. I was just looking at your work that you've done."
She does.
And he sort of pulls up a little stool that you can sit on. And as you look down, you can see that he's been obviously doing his own work, but then looking at work that you had done. And you look at it and think, wow, I've definitely improved since that point. So it must be very, very old. Yeah, so he's writing away. And there's, like I said, there's that sense of comfort, but then there's also that you start to, I imagine, remember all the things why you didn't want to be here anymore? And do you want to describe how that comes over you?
Yeah, it's like thousands of pages of stock trading, you know? So like she flips a page and it's some stock trading, and then she flips a page and some stock trading, and then like 300 pages later, it's still stock trading. And it's like manual stock trading. So like, it's both tedious, like because you have to calculate everything yourself, and important because it's a lot of money. So it's like, still doing this. I mean, when she went to bed last night, she was doing this too. So it's just like, this again. I already did this. Oh, I know that company goes out of business in like 300 years, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you want to do at this point? Do you want to start searching for something that you need to find in this room?
Yeah. Based upon the list of things I'm looking for, I'm thinking maybe it's the quill or the coin. So I'm looking around at writing implements because we used quills to fill out these ledgers back in the day.
Okay, so you have the 6 of hearts, 2 of spades, and the 2 of hearts. So you're very close to a straight and a 3 of a kind and a flush here.
Can you say that again? The 6 of hearts, the 2 of spades, and
the 2 of hearts.
And the 2 of hearts. Oh, okay. So it's
nothing,
also close to 3 of a kind.
Yeah. So nothing so far, as you're looking around, nothing seems to have that same level of. You get a feeling as though you looked at this one quill and it's like, well, no, that can't be. And there's this other quill and it's just, or this coin, and nothing really seems to have that real feeling of being special. Do you know what I mean? Bartholomew, what are you doing now as Sadie's walked through?
Well, I would have actually stayed behind. I know what the situation was in the fencing academy. So I imagine Sadie's just like, oh, yes, let's go through this door. And you'll follow me behind, right, Bartholomew? Nope. I let the door shut behind her. And I'm not seeing her running out, screaming and terrified. I imagine she's enjoying a memory. And I look down the hallway and say, time to see what awaits me down this hallway. For I have dropped off my compatriots at their memories. It's time to face my own. And Bartholomew marches forward.
Okay. So as you continue on forwards, you feel as though the darkness of the corridor is as though there's a light around you, and as though you're producing your own light. So when you look behind you, it's like pitch black. And when you look ahead of you, it's also pitch black. But as you continue on, you come to 2 more doors on the left and the right. On the left, it says the Contenza Bilazno. I'm going to butcher this. I'm so sorry. Contenza Bilazno Demitini family estate. And on the right hand side.
That name looks familiar, but not in my memories. Only recent ones.
Yep. And then on the right-hand side, it says the Pine Drake shooting range.
Ah, this I know very well. This is going to be one of my memories, I see. All right, I will step through this door.
Okay. So as you push the door, you had that same sense of familiarity to this door. It has a very rustic feel to it and a look to it, and it's very squeaky. And instantly you sort of have that memory of the same squeak that you'd always hear every time you walked through this. It feels like it's a door, but it feels like more like a gate. Do you know what I mean? So you're sort of like opening this gate, squeaks. And as you walk out, you're walking out onto an open field, one you obviously recognize instantly. You hear the familiar sounds of gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
And the smell of flowers, the smell of the time of year that you would spend the most there. So do you want to describe to us what that is showing to you?
Oh, yes, this is definitely, well, what time of year would this be? Spring, summer? Imagine
it
in the mountains.
Will be spring.
It's spring? I see. Yes. Yes. Very, it's been a cold winter and the snow has melted. It's now spring in the mountains here. It's cool, but it's getting warmer. And The smell of gunpowder, the mix of smells from the flowers and the gunpowder brings a very nostalgic, homely scent back through Bartholomew's nostrils. He takes a deep breath. Ah, yes, the smell of the mountains as he remembers them, and looks around, hearing galloping of horses, hearing gunshots, people yelling, directing orders, and also gallivanting and laughing, and just subtle conversation. And he instantly recognizes from his memories. About how old would Bartholomew be in this memory? If it's the same as Armando's memory was, I'm pretty sure Bartholomew looks a little different now.
You don't feel different. That's the thing that makes you see, because you saw Armando as he was. You look down and you see your own hands and think, well, wait a minute, shouldn't I look the same? But no, you look vastly younger. And even when you look down, you realize that you're holding that musket, basically, but one that you would train with, not the one that you have. And as you sort of look back up again, you see a young girl very familiar to you.
Would that be my sister, Anina?
It is her. She's sort of waiting for you. She waves you down excitedly.
Anina! And he instantly starts running towards her. Anina, hello!
Oh, Bart, hello. Oh, I'm so excited for today. I can't wait to finally learn how to shoot.
Oh, yes. And I'm going to be the one teaching you, isn't that right? Yes. I can't wait to do this. So Bartholomew, I believe at this point, is 16 years old. And his sweet sister, Anina, is 14.
So you start walking together. And that feeling that is coming over you is that sort of blissful feeling of, oh wow, I'm like back home again. I'm back to this thing I know. And seeing your sister, you feel like you're getting lost in that memory. Do you know what I mean? And even in a way, definitely, forgetting why you're here. And as your sister sort of grabs your hand and like she's sort of dragging you along, like, come on. She's like taking you over to where you would normally, the range basically, where you'd learn how to do the thing.
Very bittersweet memory. At this point, Bartholomew, he's got the older mind inside of a younger body at this point. In this moment, he's reminiscing on sort of why he came to the Fire-Breathing Kittens, was to look for help with the onslaught of the undead coming across his town. And he remembers that in this happy moment with his sister Anina, who is smiling and beaming, excited at the prospect of learning how to shoot a musket in order to defend a hometown from the undead. It just overwhelms him. He knows his sister is back home, still waiting, and much older. The two of them are much older now. Well, actually, not much older. It was 16, this memory. It was only a couple years ago. He's 18 at this time. So now his sister is as old as he was at this point. Perhaps she is the one training someone how to sharpshoot. But he's thinking back on this happy memory. It's a memory, and it's one of the happiest he knows. But none of his memories are filled with this is just a small snippet of happiness in the sea of despair from his hometown. Every waking night, he has to think that at any point, the revenants, the undead, will come crashing through the walls of his hometown, one by one, and then awaiting that dreaded year anniversary of his town's liberation, where the entire army of undead would swarm his hometown. And he's thinking of that with a more mature mindset, as reliving this memory once more.
So in these moments, he gets this sort of sharp pull backwards, as though, because you're now thinking about your present, you realize that, wait, this is a memory and I need to be finding something. So what will he be looking for?
He shakes his head as he remembers, this whole thing, crazy missions for Fire-Breathing Kittens. What have I got myself into? Am I dreaming? But no, I was dead. Is all of this, am I still at home? This is, no, Bart, keep focused. You need to, you're looking for something around here. And he's looking around, and he smells the surrounding areas, the springtime flowers. Yes, there were some flowers. No, perhaps something around here. He's looking around. Let's see. Was there flowers, a quill, a ring, a bell tower? I'm not sure. A reference to his poetry from earlier in this episode, but he is unsure. But he is remembering there's something he has to look for. So yes, he begins. His sister's pulling him to teach her how to sharpshoot. And as he's doing that in between, while she's running her drills and doing her target practice, he's going to be looking around for something.
So which one do you reckon he's going to try and attempt to find? Out of the 6, which ones do you feel like in this memory could exist?
Mm-hmm. We're outside. I would imagine looking for flowers.
Okay. So he's going to look for specifically a very special flower. Okay. So let's see what he gets to begin with. So you've drawn 6 of diamonds, the 8 of hearts, and the 5 of hearts. So 2 hearts, and you've nearly got straight with that. If you get a 7. You got very good straight there. So there's potential for a flush and potential for a straight in these moments. So yeah, you're searching around and you're sort of looking around the floor, just like rummaging on the floor, trying to find specific these little flowers and stuff. And you're picking one and being like, is this it? No, it's no. Is this it? And your sister's looking at you being like, Bob, what are you doing? We're supposed to be shooting. I don't understand.
Oh, don't worry, Nina. I'm just looking for inspirations for my next poetry.
Love it.
As you know, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I trust you to do this on your own. You're old enough.
Okay. So we'll move back to Armando. Armando, so you have a choice now. Do you want to leave this memory, come back and search the rest of the corridor, or do you want to try and push your luck mechanically and see if you can get a better hand from the set of cards that you have?
So I will say that my team is counting on me. So I am not going to give up. I would like to use, so in the world of Mall Zombies, the game, I have a characteristic, my adjective is daring. Because that is what Armando is all about. And when I am daring, it allows me to look at the top 2 cards of the main deck in a secret. And then I shuffle the deck if I want to. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want to keep these 2 cards. So I would like to use this property of myself and look at the 2 cards.
Okay, so Bart and Sadie, don't look at the screen. Don't look at the other one, and I'll show Armando the top 2 cards.
That top one is surprising. I think I would like that card. That is the one.
The first card, and that is the second card. First and second.
So first is the one on the bottom. Okay. And my existing cards, what do I have? Just because it is a little bit unclear to me right now.
You have a 3 of hearts, 10 of hearts, and 9 of clubs.
So if I am to push my luck, is that like I draw a 1 card or 2 cards or?
Draw 1 card at a time.
I think I'm going to choose to shuffle the deck.
Shuffle the deck. I will shuffle the deck now. Everyone can look back at the screen. So you decided to shuffle, which could tell you two he didn't like what he saw. So I've shuffled it. Now are you going to push it?
Of course I am, yes.
Okie dokie. So, you've drawn a 3 of diamonds. So you've got 2 3s currently, but nothing that is going to be another hand. You can push your luck as much as you want.
So is there I am very unfamiliar with this game. So what is the threshold that I'm looking for to achieve my goal, or is that a secret that you would tell me when I...
So currently you have a pair, right? You can keep pushing your luck to get a better than a pair, or you can accept a pair. If you keep pushing, obviously you're trying to get a better result, which would give you more close to the item that you want. You do that, obviously, by pushing your luck and keep drawing until you find what you want. But there is limited amount of cards. So these never get shuffled back in. They will stay as is. So it's up to you whether you want to keep pushing. Potentially, something bad will happen if you draw a joker.
Okay.
So for a pair, you find something, but it's either defective or of an inferior quality. And we'll elaborate on the details of that.
And that means his power doesn't refresh, right?
It refreshes, on non-defective supplies. So yeah, that's correct.
I do not want to screw my friends, but I am going to push it anyway.
Okie dokie. So draw another card. You have drawn a 4 of hearts. So you got 3 hearts. You got a flush. So you find exactly what you need.
Then that I am going to stop right there. That is exactly, yes. Yep. Very good.
So you start searching around and you find a very special rapier. It's sort of like hidden amongst loads of different swords inside a chest. And this isn't typical to put swords in a chest, but for some reason, a lot of these swords have been, some of them are broken, a lot of them are rusted, but you're digging around trying to find, maybe it's something at the bottom, and you pull out this special rapier. And when you touch it, you are instantly taken back to the corridor. And you hold it in your hand and you look up and you realize that, wait a minute, I'm in the corridor again. And the door to the fencing academy has disappeared. But it feels special. There's something very special about this rapier.
I am, again, feeling 2 different feelings at the same time. Because one, I'm astounded at the quality of this rapier. But then I never got to say goodbye again to Emil, asking questions, tell him how I am now. I regret not talking to him more. But I'm glad I was able to honor his request into finding the sword. Like, he asked me to do it, I do it. And now I have more honor. So I am happy, I'm content with that, even though I'm a little sad. So I look at the sword, and it does look familiar. And I want to say this is a sword I remember from my childhood. And my parents did not care about fencing, about being honorable or heroes. They were always trying to impress other people and do things that were opulent and exciting. And so I remember as a child, they buy this sword as part of a lot at an auction. And they were going to decorate their mansion with all these art pieces. But I recognize this sword. This is no ordinary sword. This is the sword of a man called Fabian Ragnar. Now, many people do not know his name, but I, as a student of swordplay, know this man. He was a mighty hero. And Fabian, he killed the 3rd incarnation of Thalcor, the subjugator, with this sword. This sword is known as the Hope Bringer. And I'm holding it in my hands in awe that I am able to touch this. When we had it when I was a child and I point this out to my parents, I say, this is a special sword. I would like this sword. My parents did not want me to pursue being an adventurer or being a hero or anything like that. So they just put it in a warehouse and I never see it again. And now, somehow, through this celestial magic, the sword is in my hand and I am overwhelmed that my mentor, Emil, showed me the sword I've been looking for.
I love that. That's great detail, that is. So you stand there. You realize that Sadie and Bart aren't in the corridors. But for now, Sadie, you are going to continue looking. What do you want to do? You can use your power or you can push right now. It's up to you. Oh, also, sorry, Armando, you get your power back.
Oh,
so you've got your daring back. Yep.
My power is that I'm careful. I look at the top card of the main deck and I may put it on the bottom. So before I push my luck, I'd like to look at the top card.
Okie dokie. All right, so Armando, Bart, don't look at the screen.
Okay. I choose to put that on the bottom.
Okie dokie.
Before pushing my luck.
Okay. So, pushing your luck. Move drawn. 4 of diamonds. Nothing yet. Still got your pair if you want to keep pushing.
I do.
Okie dokie. Let's push again. 5 of clubs.
Okay, that's
4, 5, 6.
A 4, 5, 6.
Perfect. So you got a straight. Nice. Okay, so you look around, and you sort of like as we were saying, you look at this quill, look at that quill, look at this different coins and stuff. Even rummaging through your father's collections of things, and you realize that there's something special about the quill your father is holding. You ask him to look at it. As you do, you hold it in your hands, and you're instantly drawn back into the corridor. And as you look up, you realize that you're not in your father's office anymore, and the door to it has disappeared. But this quill has such a presence to it. How does she feel? What does it mean to her?
This is the quill that my father inherited from his father. It's the same quill that he is going to pass on to me one day. It's a quill with, first off, the feathers from a tropical bird. Like how a peacock has shiny blue feathers, this is a shiny blue feather. And it's been magically spelled to never knock over inkwells.
That's a good thing to have.
Yeah, it's balanced.
Yeah, I love it.
And also, if you make mistakes when you write your numbers, like if you try to add a 4 and a 5 and you write down a 0 in that digit place or an 8 in that digit place, the ink briefly glows red.
Whoa. It knows its own errors. I love that. Okay, so Bart, what are you going to do? You're still searching for these flowers.
Yes, and I have vague memories of this day, though not sure exactly if it was a happy day or a fearful day. And he's constantly eyeing the tree line next to the wood rows. Wood rows being a row of houses next to the tree line, for anyone's familiar. His regiment is the Woodrow Cavalry Division. He would ride his horse between wood rows where the line of trees would be when he would be defending his hometown. So he's keeping an eye, as he does, on the tree line. I'd like to use my ability, which is to be careful, same as Sadie was, to look at the top card of the deck in secret, and may choose to put it at the bottom of the deck.
Sadie, Armando, don't look at the screen now as I show Bart the top card. What would you like to do?
Put it on the bottom of the deck.
These are now at the bottom of the deck. And are you ready to push?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Like to push my luck.
We have 3 of spades. So currently we're at, just to remind everybody, 5 of hearts, 8 of hearts, 6 of diamonds, 3 of spades. What would you like to do?
Like to push my, yes.
Pushed again.
Push my luck.
An ace of spades.
It's 2 spades.
Not
going so well so far. It's getting more and more dangerous.
It is.
But I do have more options at this point. Because if I get a 2, a 4, or a 7, or if I get a spade or a heart, there are many options. Continue to look through these flowers, and I kept my eyes on the tree lines. Perhaps this was one of those more peaceful days, where the revenants only appeared at night. I wouldn't have to worry about my sister during these times. So I will continue looking for this flower.
Okay.
Flower of summer.
You draw again, and you take a joker. So, as he's drawn a joker,
That's a joker.
I will now draw from a different deck and see what happens to him. You get a queen. Now, the queens in this game, when you draw a joker, you are attacked. And then you draw from something called the zombie deck, which is all the court cards. And each court card has a different effect. So as you draw a queen, there's something strange. As you're sort of looking around, the skies start to go darker. Even the grass starts to become, which was lush and vibrant, is starting to become grey. And even the flowers start losing their tones as you hear from behind you, brother. And as you turn around, you see that Amina Her face is distorted. It's melting a little. Her eyes have gone dark and black, and she launches towards you, grabbing and pawing at your clothes, dragging you, and you have to fight your way out of this. As you do, she is basically scratching a claw in, and you're trying to hold back from this attack as you feel yourself becoming more and more dizzy. You feel this sort of overwhelming fog start to come over you as you go completely unconscious. And for Sadie and Armando, you see Bart just appear flump onto the ground in the corridor. And as you come to, Bart, there's something strange and fuzzy. You don't know where you were, and even the doors around you look different, and the door you went into isn't there anymore. And there's something strange, though. You can't remember that time anymore in your mind, as though there's like a complete darkness has come over you. And how do you feel?
Gasping for he's shivering, crying a bit, trying to shake from his head. What just happened? My hometown. I can't remember. And he looks up at Sadie and Armando. What happened? We're here. Yes. Another door. Yes, I remember seeing your name here, Armando. He's trying to stick to the mission that they're on, trying to push himself forward, to try not to lose hope, but he can definitely tell something terrible has happened, and he's trying to formulate words, but he's trying to push it back by just saying, we need to move forward, need to continue pressing on. He's definitely shaken, as though something... he looks as though he's been woken up, startled from a nightmare.
Bartholomew, you look like you've been woken up, startled from a nightmare. Can I give you something? And she holds up a clear crystal.
Hey, thank you, Sadie. I appreciate this. And he looks at...
This is 4R, 4AR, 7S, 7AR, 12BS, 3-methyl-2,3, 4A, 7A, 7A, hexahydro 1H, 412, methano 1-benzofuro-32E, isoquinoline, 7,9-diol.
Is that like a Smartie or a Skittle or something?
No, I think Sadie is giving players and NPCs fentanyl.
This is morphine.
Oh, so it's something different every time. This did seem a little bit longer than the fentanyl from my campaign.
Oh, God.
Is this the best for when you have bad dreams?
You're terrifying.
Is it something you need to lick again? Or is it like... Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he already looked at 2.
This character terrifies me.
What do you think old style medicine was? And you got your hair tonics and you'd buy a glass bottle and you'd chug it. It'd be like alcohol and morphine mixed together.
Yeah, exactly.
So as I see a Sadie... Oh, go ahead.
So I look at and what it calms me down.
Yes. You feel good.
Yeah, I feel much better. I'm filled with this sensation of calm, and take a deep breath, and I thank you, Sadie. Now that this crystal has calmed me down, I can more recollect on what just happened. But unfortunately, he shakes his head. I can't say or remember what happened. All I know is that it was terrifying, and now it is like a blind spot in my memory now. I remember, Armando, you were going to restore, you went through that door and started to relive your memories. Unfortunately, I believe I faced some cruel fate, and now I've lost mine. And he looks over. I do remember immediate memories, especially outside this corridor. And I do remember there was a door here that led to the Pine Drake Shooting Academy, where I had trained, much like where you had trained. But I don't remember anymore.
So when you
anything about
when you try and remember that time as well, it just seems
I know
foggy.
I know the generalization, the idea of the general things, but or that it exists and that I was a part of it. Like you could say that I was trained here and I would have badges saying I went there, and I would even have to say, yes, I do remember, I know that I went there, but I don't have any memory of it.
So this is a great place to have an intermission, as Bart has lost part of his memory of his poor departed sister in those moments. Today, I am joined by Sadie.
Oh no, his sister's dead. Bart, is your sister dead?
No. His memory of her is departed.
Oh, okay. Oh, dang. There's a lot for steak on steak. There needs some steak. There's a lot at stake here.
Stop saying steak, you'll bring out Gubo
again. Bartholomew.
Oh, such a terrifying place. I shudder to think about what would happen if I face another one of my memories.
And Armando.
I will come up with a encouraging word for Bartholomew when we come back. I'm very excited to try and encourage him, just like Emil encouraged me. But before we go to the break, I do want to say we have a review, and so I'm going to read it. So it goes like this. King Feature 42 says this. He says, a friend recommended this podcast, and I'm so glad he did. That with an exclamation point at the end. So I did not give the inflection. I'm so glad he did, like this. I love the variety of characters and games that are played. I have just started getting into Monster of the Week because of Hella Confidence. Shout out to Chico, Errol, and Pearl. 5 stars. So, if you want to hear your review on our podcast, we will read it. Preferably if it is a 5-star review. But if not, we still read it. I mean, we're open. But please go to... You will not?
I won't.
Well, I maybe I'm speaking for myself personally. So be sure to go to like iTunes or whatever your provider is, preferably iTunes because we see that a little bit better. And then review us. Let us know that you are listening and that you like it. And then we will read it on the air. So there we go. Thank you.
Right then. So see you all after the break.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Today's mid-episode shout-out is, quote, Top Inlumen Innovator Sven. Your groundbreaking ideas and inventions are shaping the future, and I'm excited to see what you'll do next. Hope you enjoy this episode. End quote. You can arrange for us to read your shout-out at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com, and just so that Sven knows, you can't pick which episode it airs on, so that hopefully that person likes this episode, because they didn't get to pick which episode it aired on anyways. So, is there an episode of Fire Breathing Kittens that would make someone you know smile? Telling them about it would help us. We also have books for sale on Amazon and Audible. Thanks.
Welcome back to Fire Breathing Kittens. We have left off with our players having some very scary times. So, would you like to give us our summary, Bart?
Of course. We began our morning in the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall, and a strange man walked through the front corridor, or through the front door, soon-to-be corridor, as you'll soon learn. He came and offered Armando a letter addressed to him, myself, and Sadie, but not in name, only in description, saying that if we were to collect 6 artifacts, we would be and bring them to his master, we would be rewarded with something important to us that we had lost. And of course, the three of us could think of something we had lost, but maybe it was something very dear and important to us. Maybe it was something that, something that we don't even know yet. But the three of us accepted this fateful offer and took on the job for this reason. We left the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall into that corridor I mentioned. It wasn't a corridor. It shouldn't have been a corridor. It should have been the outside. But no, we walked into this strange, anomalous corridor that is dark and lit, these doors on either side, titled with a location that each of us had memories of. And each of us went in. They were fond memories that all of us had. And we were searching for one of these 6 artifacts that were listed to us. A flower of summer, a quill of duty, coin of innocence, a bell of friendship, a ring of spring, and a rapier of tradition. And there were 6 artifacts. The 3 of us set out looking for these artifacts in each of these memories. And 2 out of 3 of us had good luck. Another one of us went through a memory and did not have a good time. Bartholomew myself was kicked out of this memory, and the door to that memory had vanished, and any memory of that, any of those happy memories I had are now gone. And that is a very terrifying prospect for the other adventurers with me, Sadie and Armando, for they had wonderful memories, and now they might have to risk losing one of their memories, and maybe Bartholomew lose one of his only other happy memories in his sad, sad story of life. But we continue after the 3 of us have gone through our memories, found something. Bartholomew wasn't able to find anything in that memory, only death, only despair. So perhaps we might not need all artifacts. Perhaps we'll find more artifacts, more than one in one area. We shall see. But where we've left off, each of us have gone through 3 of these memories together. Not 3 each, 1 each. So 3 out of 6 is what it seems like, and now we are continuing our adventure.
Brilliant. Thank you, Bart. So you are all obviously standing in the corridors. Bart has appeared and is seeming quite odd. To your left, you see Armando, the other nameplate for the door. To your left, it says the Contenza Bilazano de Medici.
Oh, Contenza Bilazno de Medici. I see. I can pronounce it for you. Yes, no, I heard it both ways. It's fine.
Yeah, the family estate.
Before I go through this door, though, as promised before the break, I tell Bartholomew something encouraging. Even though I see the morphine is working, even though I don't know it is morphine, he looks very relaxed. Anyway, I say, hey, that was difficult, and life is full of challenges, but we are here for you, and you do not need to be afraid. I say this on the threshold of a door that I do not wish to go through, but I will, because I know that it is the right thing to do, and both of you are here with me. So I am not alone. You are not alone. And whatever you are facing, we can do it together. And so do not worry. And I put my hand on his shoulder.
But okay, on the shoulder. I thought on the door. Okay.
Oh, no. I'm still encouraging Bartholomew. And so we want to do this first to make sure he is at ease, even though the morphine is working like a charm.
So you know how earlier you were kind of like, I don't know if I should trust this person, and it's weird that we're going and retrieving artifacts and there's like a magical hallway, and you were like, don't worry, Sadie, it'll be fine. Now I'm like, maybe we shouldn't trust this person. Bartholomew lost a core memory, you know? I mean, I'm thinking maybe we mess this person up when we get out of here.
I am all about messing people up if it is the honorable thing to do. So number 1, I am with you. Number 2, I am more curious to find out about this missing memory. Because, to be honest with you, I have many memories I would prefer to forget. So tell me more about what you can, Bartholomew. What you remember and what you do not.
I remember the door itself. He says much more calm, collected, and relaxed, but not so much happy as he is. Just thinking on his life and what has led to this moment, but remembering the very close memory of what was listed on that door, which was the Pine Drake, the Pine Drake Training Academy. That is the academy for training young officers in defense of our hometown. So it had something linked to that, my training there. And I know I had trained there, but now nothing, I can't remember anything other than my involvement. It is knowing my hometown. There's, if what you two are what you two have you two described what you've gone through your memories? They're happy memories, if I'm not mistaken. It seemed
I will regretfully nod because I don't want to make Bartholomew feel bad. But yes, mine was actually perhaps one of the best memories. And then it was added to even more so because I retrieved something that was long forgotten. And so I will say it was probably the best moment of my life was going through that door.
Wow. I just did work.
But do you enjoy work?
She like pauses for a long second. And she's like, it does feel good to be productive.
And that is okay. If that is what you bring a contribution to this world that few can duplicate. So be confident in what you are doing and the honor which you bring to yourself and your family. I think that is a wonderful thing.
So it's a really mixed bag, Bartholomew.
Yes, I see. So may not only be linked to the happiest of memories, but I do believe I could label them as important memories. Would you two agree to that these memories are important to us?
I would say so. I think even the negative memories shape who we are. And so what is good or what is bad, it forms you as a person. You are Bartholomew. You will never be something different because you are shaped by what you have experienced. And even if it was very negative, it has made you the man you are today. And I must say, you're full of honor and bravery, and a gentleness of spirit with your poetry is something that I can learn a lesson from. So I'm sorry that you are missing a part of what has formed you to be you, but you are still you. So yes, you do not remember, but you have not lost your identity.
You're right. I do appreciate your comforting words. They are inspiring me. With that, I will see through to it that if I come across another one of those memory doors linked to myself, I will go through unabated. I will face the danger and go forward. And regardless of what happens, I will do what I can to see this mission out for all of our sake.
You don't really have to do that for me necessarily. I'm on the side of like maybe this person's a villain because they took one of your memories from you because they're using you to get stuff, right? So like when I use people to get stuff, I pay them dollars. I don't take their core memories. That's just me though.
I don't think you are using people as much as you are hiring people, right? Because you are paying them money and they are voluntarily saying, yes, they will do this. Much like we voluntarily said, yes, I am here for adventure. They can have their stuff, and in reward, I get a beautiful memory. Now, and then I will say I turn to the door. Armando is not looking forward to this door, and I'm inspired by what Bartholomew say, and I say, I will be brave because we signed up for a mission. We signed up for an adventure, and maybe this is something that I need for me to be better for myself. And so I slowly turn toward the door, and I'm reaching for the doorknob, but I'm not touching it in case my teammates want to say something before I do the opening of the door, because last time I got just sucked in and that was it.
I mean, me, the player, would be like, look for ways to break it, but Sadie is probably not like that. Sadie's probably like, be safe, you know. Meanwhile, I'm like, check the walls, check the floors.
Before I go through the door, though, Sadie, can you hold this rapier? I have a feeling that if I walk in there with this rapier, my parents will once again deprive me of it. This is something that is very valuable to me, and I think it is safer with you.
Can she hold the rapier? Let me see. She's 5'5", 130 pounds. I think a rapier she can hold, yes, but it takes both hands.
Yeah, you don't need to hold it up or nothing. You can like drag it on the ground. Just I will re-sharpen it. It's fine. Just I don't want to go through the door. Or I can lean it against the door like at the wall by the door.
I believe Sadie is very capable of looking after. Look at how she's holding it. She's very, very careful with this responsibility. And looking at
scared
Sadie,
of it.
and looking at Sadie holding it with both arms, kind of shaking.
Yes, and I can see on her face the respect she has for the weapon. Like she is very excited, but like afraid almost. But it's respect, and like that filled my heart with joy.
Sadie, have you ever held a weapon?
No. She looks terrified.
Well, this will be a fun memory for you to have.
If she can keep it.
Don't lose the sword or the memory. I'm trusting you. Bartholomew, I'm trusting you also. So Armando takes a very deep breath. He exhales, and as he exhales, he twists the doorknob and passes through the door.
Okay. So as you push through the door, you feel that exact same feeling being sucked inwards and the door closing behind you. You are standing in the hallway of your parents' mansion. It's dark. A lightning bolt strikes outside, illuminating some of the hallway. It's raining outside. There's a sharp smell of blood in the air.
I recognize this smell. After many of my sword fights, there is blood, either my own or my opponent, most often my opponent. And I am concerned because being back in this house is not quite terrifying, but it is getting to me. And so I'm steeling myself and remembering the love I received from Emil and the gift he gave me. So I draw my sword, and I carefully make my way to where the concentration of the blood smell is stronger, but very carefully.
So what is the, how do you remember this house? What does it look like?
It is very opulent, very massive. Like it is very well decorated. So one thing my parents were very big on was establishing a, how you say, like an image that reflects riches and power. So like they want to show people when they come over how rich they are and how powerful they are. And so all around is just immaculate furniture from centuries ago, like a lot of elvish decorations, a lot of art from various places in the continent. And with the dark and the storm, it is a little bit creepy because you have all these opulent big rooms, but it's all dark. And so there are shadows that maybe like are sneaking up on you, but once you are used to it, it's not so bad. But what is filling me mostly with fear is knowing that my parents, this is a memory involving my parents. So I have a very negative relationship with them. But knowing myself as I am now as a 31-year-old man, I know I do not need to be afraid of them. And this is not real. This is just a memory. And so I can pass through with confidence.
Mm. So as you start to walk through the familiar corridors, the familiar staircases, even going past rooms that you have had bad memories in, you start to, what's different about this memory is though it's like a collection of different memories. The words spoken by your parents in certain situations, you can hear them in the background. You can hear arguments coming from different rooms. You can hear the frustration that you've experienced as a child, as an adult. And as you walk through the halls, you start to get this sense that this feels like the last time you were in this house and what happened the last time you were here.
I remember there was a big fight with me and my parents because I finally have one inkling of bravery with them. And I say that you have no honor and I refuse to live with you. And I move out. And that is the last time I see them alive. Because like a week or two later after I move out, they are assassinated in their bed. And I hear this later, like through the grapevine. They are pillars of the community, quote unquote. But they are treacherous. They have no honor. And it brings me sadness because I know I did the right thing in moving out, and maybe if I did not move out, maybe I would be dead too. I don't know. But am I facing them again for the last time? Maybe.
As you continue on, you get to your parents' bedroom, and you think to yourself, maybe how often you've ever been there. Probably not that often. But there's something that's drawing you into that room for some strange reason. And as you pull down the handle of the very opulent, detailed veneer of the door, something sort of shocks you as you walk through, and you think, but this isn't, how can this be my memory when I never saw this? And as you see your parents in bed, not moving.
And I imagine that the smell of blood is very strong in this room, right? So I think to myself, this is the night they were assassinated. And I remember hearing that there was evidence all around their bed, like it was a message. They were very corrupt. And my father was a councilman in Nicamoy, and he did all kinds of dirty deals, destroy people because he did not like them, or they did not kowtow. And so I see a lot of documents all over, scattered all around the bed, full of their lies and full of the evidence of their wrongdoing. And I see them in the bed, and I'm frozen because I don't know what to do. They are beyond help. They are dead. And this is a memory. I could not save them and change the past or nothing. And so I breathe, and there is an acrid smell of the blood. But I remember my mission with my friends that I need to find one of the things that we are looking for. And I think, what could be in this room? Could it be, I don't think it is the bell of friendship. I don't think it is the quill of duty. Perhaps it is the coin with the tears of the innocent, because they have ruined so many lives and they are so greedy. And so I think I start looking for a coin somewhere in this room.
Okay. So as you look through the room, you find, very interesting. 7 of clubs, 9 of spades, 10 of clubs.
So that is almost a flush, right? Okay. So what I would like to do is...
Let's talk poker for a second. I didn't say this earlier because I was like, I'll just let it go. But it's come up twice now. This is what's called an open-ended straight. An open-ended straight is your enemy. Or, I'm sorry, a closed straight. This is what's called a closed straight. Yes. A closed straight is your enemy, and open-ended straight is your friend. So, like, the idea of getting that 8, it's, like, tempting, and you're like, oh, I could definitely get that 8. You cannot and you will not get that 8.
Yeah, the odds are not in your favor.
You may not know this about me. That's correct. But I am daring, so I can see 2 cards on top of the main deck.
But there's no jack in this deck.
The play deck, correct.
Because all the face cards got took out, right, and put into the zombie deck. So, like, the only cards that could possibly help you are an 8 and then a 6. But, like, if you have a 6, you also need the 8. So, like, 5, 6. So I'm just suggesting, if you want to walk out of this room and look at another room, because we've got a limited number of cards, you're going to flip until you zombie in this room is what I'm saying. So that's the advice of out of character, player to player advice. I would look at the cards in the other rooms myself, just advising you, because this is a close-ended straight.
That's only if I'm trying to aim for a straight. I have 2 clubs. If I get another club card, I get a flush. And last time I got a flush, I find the sword I've been thinking about for years. Maybe this happened this time? I don't know.
Your odds are pretty good. We've drawn 1 diamond, 1, 2, 3, 4 hearts, 6 hearts, 2 diamonds, and 2 spades, and only 1 club. So, like, it is skewed clubs right now, if you go that route.
I appreciate that you're like a rain woman, so to speak. And so I am going to use my adjective, daring, that allows me to look at the 2 cards. So can I please look at the 2 cards, GM?
You certainly can. So everyone close your eyes or look away. So that is the first card, and that is the second card.
Excellent. You may put the card down so my teammates can do that. Yeah. I will just draw a card. I'm not going to shuffle at all.
Okay. So you draw the 3 of clubs. So
hey, that is perfect.
3 clubs, which gives you a flush. So as you search through the room, there's a morbid thought comes through your mind. And you think, if this is a memory, but not even a memory that I have, although just a memory of a time and a past, then maybe nothing is exactly the way it was. So you start thumbing through your father's night jacket and you pull out a bloodied coin. It glows in your hand and you feel the same thing you felt when you picked up the sword as you're instantly dropped back into the corridor.
I am very, very happy to not be in that room anymore. In a way, I wish I would have looked at some of the evidence, but I know the mission is more important than I can uncover the truth later. I chose the coin I say, oh, I'm back. It was terrible. I'm glad you were not there, Bartholomew and Sadie. But I think this coin is what we are looking for. If you do not mind, I will take that sword back, Sadie, because it means a lot to me.
Sadie looks relieved.
Thank you. So, shall we continue?
Yes, I'm ready to continue. I noticed the bloodied coin and you were not happy in there, so I assume that wasn't a happy memory. But would you describe it as an important one?
It was not even my memory. That was the weird thing about it. It was something that
Really?
perhaps I should have seen, but it was a monumental pivot in my life. Something that changed the course of my life forever. And in a way, I wish I could forget it, like you forgot your memory. But at the same time, it's something I need to bear and work through myself. And maybe with the help and support of my friends. We can talk about it later, but I'm very unsettled.
I didn't mention it earlier. When you were giving me support, and when I saw you going through that room, I feared for you. I was worried that you would face the same thing I had gone and come out the same. I'm relieved to see that you are the same man you are when you went through. Maybe even better now that you've faced that danger that you had to. I am appreciative of your company, Armando. I know we have only met and adventured one time before, and, well, we died while we were trying to take out those rats and came back to life thanks to that contract with death. You say that with Sadie next to him, like, oh, so that's what happened?
Sadie so far has been whisked away to another dimension and is in like this memory hallway. And so she's like hearing about you guys come back from death and she's just like nodding slowly to herself.
Well, she wants an exciting life. She's definitely getting it.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you say that, Bartholomew. I feel the same way. And Sadie, please know that we extend this feeling to, I assume, all the fire-breathing kittens. We will support you. And I know many of these doors may not be comfortable or it might be a little bit scary, but we are here for you. We will help you.
By the way, Sadie, why did you join the fire-breathing kittens? Because you seem very... Don't take this the wrong way. A fish out of water, like a timid kitten filled and thrown into a den of ravenous wolves.
I prefer the metaphor of a delicate flower.
Thrown into a den of wolves.
In a hurricane, maybe.
Delicate flower in a hurricane. Well, it was the Omi-I, really, that made up my mind.
The Omi-I?
Yeah, the marriage meeting. So, if I get married to Hudson without ever having gone outside and done anything, I feel like I never will.
Ah, I see. So it's while you have the chance yet to experience new things. Well, you're experiencing quite a bit, I would imagine.
So far, so good.
So at this mention of Hudson, and like, he sounds like a really controlling guy if he's not going to let you out. And so my mustache is twitching a little bit like, I don't like this. And I say, tell me about this Hudson. Is he causing you a problem? Are you being forced to marry this guy or what's going on?
Oh, Armando, calm down. Your mustache is twitching slightly.
Hey, I come from a family full of control freak. I don't like control freak. If this Hudson is somebody that is going to control Sadie, we're going to get her away as far as possible from this guy.
No, he seems really nice. So, in Omi-I is when, you know how, like, you're single and you're like, I'm very single, you know, and your parents are like, maybe we can introduce you to someone and you might like them. So they picked out a guy that is going to live as long as I will. And we're about the same age. And he comes from a good family. Seems like a cool person. An honorable gentleman. And so we met. And then we like walked around the town. We went to the market. And, he escorted me around the garden. And I was just like, whoa, this is happening. So, just thought it was a good time.
At the term of honorable gentleman, my mustache stopped twitching. And so I'm like, okay, I give him a chance, but look, we're like family now, okay? Listen, you're going to be safe. Don't even, if this man is bad news, we'll take care of it, okay?
Oh my gosh. He's like, tell me I kill him. I'm like, okay.
Maybe not kill, that would not be honorable, but I will defeat him and chase him away so you do not have to worry about him, okay?
That's wonderful news to hear that you are finding love in such a way and being responsible not just to him, but yourself and finding new experiences.
I don't love him. Oh, gosh. We just met.
But you're getting... Oh, well.
It is a different culture. I mean, I don't understand it either, Bartholomew.
Well, then.
I think love takes hundreds of years.
Oh, I certainly hope not. That's a little bit past my expiration date, you know what I'm saying?
Hundreds of years. Well, same for me. I'm 18 years old. I'm learning about the outside world, much as you, but I'm sure you've had much more of a gentler lifestyle than myself. You said, how old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh my gosh, you're 18. I'm 18. 718.
700. Out of character. I thought you were younger than that.
I mean, she looked 23 to me. But she's an elf, so she's very old.
Can you imagine having a teenager for hundreds of years? Oh, Lord. They're like terrible twos for like,
the
it's been
hormones
200
alone.
years. It's fine.
Oh.
It's fine.
Acne for centuries, you know?
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
that is awful.
Oh, that's
thank goodness we don't get acne. No.
Oh, that is pretty cool. I can appreciate that.
Okay. So, who's going up next? Who's taking the step forward to see what else is in the corridor?
I'm going to give you guys a break from all of the like sad things. I think my memory is going to be fairly tame. So let's do this, and then we'll end with a really sad one with Bartholomew.
It could be redemptive. I mean, it's not necessarily sad. I mean, we'll see.
Okay, so Sadie's going to go up. Okay, so Sadie, as you move forward through the corridor into the darkness ahead of you, you see another two doors. On the left, you see on the nameplate Bartholomew's 10th birthday, and on the right-hand side, Duca Family Gardens.
Yeah, I'm thinking a zombie swarm happened at the 10th birthday party, and I'm thinking that one's just the garden. So I'm going to go to the right.
Okay, you're going to go to the gardens. Okay. So, as you push through the door, you open out onto a beautiful field, very well maintained. The hedges, the flower beds, everything is beautiful. Ahead of you, you see a garden party. There are many people that you recognize, family members, old friends, people from your childhood. You see your parents all having a lovely time, drinking tea, having small cakes. What do you do? What is it like?
This is actually really exciting because I might have mentioned I'm 718 years old, and some of my childhood friends are not kids anymore, shall we say. So like to be able to see, I look over for Gervasio and Like, and I'm like, Lika, like, hey, Lika, where you at? Gervasio. But like without saying that, she was way more proper than that. That's just me.
Yo, Jamaica, what's going on, man? It's so good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, she's super proper. So she just like looks excitedly around. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm excited. And she looks specifically at the lawn. I'm sorry. And she's looking for a metal wire frame hoop. It's like specifically foot shaped and sized just to trip you. It's like that. And they're like all over the lawn in like lines. I'm looking for that.
Yeah, so you see there's a group of kids and parents all playing croquet together. just off to the right-hand side, all having a very fun time as the kids attempt to whack the balls through the hoops.
Oh my gosh, I've got my eyes peeled for a dwarf and an alpaca person, a llama person. She has like, if you've seen Odd Taxi, which if you haven't seen Odd Taxi, you're in for a treat. That was best anime of the year, in my opinion, the year it came out. It's like 13 episodes long. Everybody's animals. Anyway, so there's a llama person. So I'm looking for a llama person and I'm looking for a dwarf.
Oh, they're both there.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I go and instantly. I play croquet with them.
Yeah. They're like, Sadie, look. I got 3 hoops.
Lika. Oh man. So Lika currently is, neither of these people are deceased yet, but Lika currently is like in her 30s, and I'm like 18, so we can't hang out like much anymore, you know? So it's so nice just to be able to like talk with her again, you know, like, and she's not giving me like old person advice. Like, and then Gervasio is an old man now, so seeing him as a kid again, I'm like, oh my goodness, he was so cute.
So yeah, they're all playing. They sort of invite you to come and play with them. One of you hands a wooden mallet with a red tape around it, and they pass you a ball. And at this point, you really feel that sense of you're being really dragged into this memory further and further, as though you're starting to forget what's happening, why you're here, because it's just so nice to have that connection with these old friends again. And you can feel yourself slipping.
And she might be okay with that. Like, honestly, I mean, to be able to be a kid again and to hang out with your friends, like, how long can she stay here, GM?
As long as she wants.
All right, she's just chilling.
Okay. So as you continue going, at this point, Armando, as you continue on, you see Bartholomew's 10th birthday. And you see as Sadie goes through the door, obviously, as the same as before, the door shuts behind her. What are you guys doing now?
I would like to turn to Bartholomew and say, before you walk through that door, what can you tell me about your 10th birthday party? Anything significant, maybe? Anything treacherous or joyous? Or what was it like?
My 10th birthday. That was a very happy memory, of course. Much like when I lost, I almost assume yes. My 10th birthday, I was gifted my horse Alistar, by my good friend, family friend, a halfling named Gideon McCullough. He was the silversmith that was there in, not in Pine Drake, in
Shelton.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He was a resident of Shelton there when the residents of Pine Drake fled when the Revenants first swarmed Pine Drake during a day of liberation. And he supplied them with silver weaponry and bullets to ward off these undead revenants. It was assumed that perhaps it was due to magic that they were rising. So by using these silver weapons, we were able to, or not we, I wasn't there. Well, I deal with them presently, but during that time, it was effective. And ever since Gideon has been supplying our town with silver weaponry at a low price, and he has been alive since Pine Drake's liberation, and he is alive even today. So my family, the Salvadors, were the ones tasked with doing runs between the two towns. That's why he is a deep friend of my family. And on my 10th birthday, he gifted me Alistar, my horse.
That sounds like a pretty good memory. Do you feel comfortable going through the door? I don't know. I don't think anything bad will happen, but, I've been wrong before.
With your inspiring words, I will brave this danger, and perhaps, now that I've shared this memory with you, perhaps you will be able to recount it to me if I were to come back. Or, perhaps, this corridor is so magical that it erases memories even from those who have shared it. Who knows?
Well,
we shall see.
Let's be confident. I think you will be able to achieve your goal. In there, you will lose no memory. And in the unlikely condition that you do forget, I will tell you what happened. It's a beautiful memory. I mean, I know you love your horse. So,
You
yes.
shall see. Yes. I'm ready to face this.
Okay. Bart, you walk through the door. As you head through, I felt that similar thing. Whoop, you're pulled inwards. It is another garden. It's next to a set of stables. So you recognize these stables instantly. These are owned by Gideon. And you feel that it's like you said, you've just described that memory, and it's like you're being put there straight away. There are many people around, friends, family, at a happier time in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Gideon wave you down, sort of beckoning you to come. He's a massive smile on his face.
I yell out, not realizing how high pitched my voice is now.
Yeah.
Before I'm no longer 18 or 16. I am now 10 years old. Gideon!
Come here, boy. Come here.
I run over and realizing just pitter-pattering my young child-like feet.
Come here, boy. I have a very special gift for you. Now, what would a young man such as yourself need in such times? What would he need to grow into a man?
Oh, I've thought of so many things, Gideon. I want to be like my father and wield a musket and go up against those revenant hordes.
It is a fine wish you have. And what finer wish would you be to ride into battle? Now, follow me. And he sort of like patters you across, takes you to one of the stables are empty at the moment. The horses have been taken out. And there's this one beautiful white horse in one of the stables. You instantly have this sort of rush of excitement, of love, and of, just this amazing feeling as you see Alistair in the stables and Gideon sort of bring you along.
Note that Bartholomew does have memories of this, and he does know this is when he was gifted his horse. But almost instinctively, he says the same thing he asked, or he answered when Gideon asked him what he thinks it could be. He answered the same as he did before, that he would want to have a musket like his father to fight the revenant horde. He had not known that when he had asked for a horse, and they said, and his family said, not that it's out of their payment, it's a difficult thing to take care of, that he accepted it as truth and fact and left it to the side. This is what he remembers, and Bartholomew in the moment, even though it's him as the adult, knowing what happened during his 10th birthday, still recounts what he says as a child, almost instinctively, as to honor the memory rather than change it or predict it. Almost like reading a book over and over again and knowing what happens. And as a child would know something, a detail would be changed. He would know, no, that's not right. He said this, not that. He doesn't know that's happening yet. Because the surprise because if he said that, it wouldn't be a surprise. And that's what Bartholomew is doing himself, almost reliving it, knowing that there is a danger, there is a threat that he could lose this once more.
That's nice, that is. I really like that sentiment to it, that it's such a precious memory that even subtly changing it would tarnish that. And as Gideon opens up the stables and Alistair comes out, he says, "Come, boy," he picks you up and puts you on the saddle and holds the reins and says, "Shall we go for a walk?"
This is very exciting, he remembers himself saying, and says it out loud. A horse, really? Did my father have some play in this? I told him I wanted one, but he said I couldn't afford it. And Bartholomew, as he remembers, he starts crying at this moment. He cries this moment as well.
It's a beautiful moment.
He starts wiping his eyes with his arms, like happily and just excited.
Yeah. So you feel that same thing that is coming over Sadie. There's that being lost in the memory so deep that because you want to relive it exactly how it was, you're starting to slip into forgetting why you're here. And at that moment, we'll go to Armando, who you're in the corridor waiting, and you seem to be waiting quite a long time at this point. No one's coming back out.
So I am getting a little bit nervous. Just a little bit though, but I do remember that in each of the cases with my memories, there were regrets that I did not spend it longer in there. I was too focused on the mission, and I can see with the opportunity to revisit something long forgotten or perhaps a feeling that you have not felt in a long time, that is something worth dwelling on. Just let it pass over you and let it envelop you. And so what I do in the meantime is prepare myself. And so I test the sword that I find, the Hopebringer, and I am trying to practice the same forms that I would with my regular longsword to see what the balance is and to see how it feels in my hand and what different moves I need to do in order to defeat my enemy. But all the while I am thinking, I hope that Sadie and Bartholomew are okay.
Nice. So, Sadie or Bart, which of you wants to choose? Do you stay or do you fight it and try to get back onto task?
Sadie's staying. Yeah, she's having a good time and she's recounting what it was like to hang out with Gervasio and Lika.
Bart is being ridden around on his new horse, Alistar, and is remembering these memories very fondly. He started his adventure here to look for help and to maybe find a cure, or not. I wouldn't say a cure, but an answer to the zombie plague overrunning his town. But he has Alistar with him, and it's a memory he holds very fondly. He is terrified of the prospect of losing this memory with Alistar. And now he's, of course, knowing that he's terrified because he has to look for an object. And by keeping his eyes away from his memory as he did before, it risks something terrible happening, him losing this key memory of his that belongs to him. Alistar is his best friend, and his greatest fear is losing it. He's always careful with his horse, but he would never think that something as such as losing a memory of meeting his best friend would be on the tables during an adventure like this. His horse wasn't even with him this adventure. And he's here anyway, of all the things.
There's part of me that was hoping you would have brought him with you, and then the horse would just be in the corridor, walking around. That would have been funny.
Will he even remember his horse when he gets back? And just the idea, but no, remembering Armando's words of encouragement to be brave and to know that he has his compatriots, Armando and Sadie, by his side, and he has left Armando with the at least the spoken word of his memories of this, but to relive it, there is no way he can say everything to Armando of the memories that he holds. But he understands that at the very least, he'll know what he lost. Maybe not feel it, but he'll at least know it. And that's a comfort enough to continue forward. Bartholomew begins looking for something around here that might be needed. For what's left, perhaps a bell or a ring. He's not sure what he is looking for. But a bell of friendship or a ring of spring.
You're finding a flower of summer, my friend.
I looked for that earlier.
Yeah, and you didn't find it right. That's here, right?
No, that was in the other memory. I'd imagined it'd be something else. Perhaps I would find the flower of summer here. I'm not sure. But we're still missing 3 items. You're looking for 1. What would Sadie be looking for?
I think probably the bell of friendship is in mine.
Because of your friends. So yeah. Perhaps the ring of spring. Or flower of summer.
The spring one was the one that got removed from you, so it's the summer one now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you start looking. You get an ace of hearts, a 5 of spades, and the 4 of clubs. Quite a big spread.
4, 5. Well, at least there's a 4 and a 5. Perhaps I'll get a 3 and a 2, or a 3, or a 6, or a joker. We shall see. But of course, as always, I will be careful, especially here, and go ahead and have that first card revealed.
Okay, everyone else look
In
away.
secret. Leave it on the top. I'll draw it.
So, as you draw that card, you find a straight. You got a 4, 5, 6. So, as you are looking around for the flower, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as you're looking around, even just atop of Alistair, you've got quite a height advantage at this point, and Gideon he's talking to you.
That's the only thing I needed.
Yeah, he was.
I forgot to bring Alistair to be on the shooting range that day. That's all I needed.
Exactly. So yeah, you look around, and you see in the breast pocket of Gideon a flower brooch, and as you reach out and touch it, you're dropped back into the corridor. Next to Armando, who is swishing his sword, diving, doing stabbing movements. And you barely miss a stab as he pushes it forward.
Oh, I am so sorry, Bartholomew. I did not know you were there. I'm glad my cat-like reflexes could avoid skewering you.
Oh, Bartholomew is on his back. He kind of takes a deep breath in. As he did when he entered his first memory. He's taking in the smells, though. He doesn't remember those smells, but just the relief, the same deep breath. I remember it all.
It's even emboldened in your mind now. The same with the Armando. It's like
very much.
It's become anew. The memory is less distant and it's become more fresh. And in a way, you, as you said earlier, gained more from them and you remembered more from them. The details you didn't see the first time.
That is, oh yeah. Going back and having that memory. Armando, during your first memory, were there feelings? They were your memories, but did you experience it in a different way, in a more important way, as though you were remembering things better and more dear to you?
Yes, I think with the benefit of perspective, now that I am older, I can value what I saw then when I was just experiencing it as a child. But now I can see how important that time was, how lovely it was. And then to have it echo in my mind, the smells and the sounds and the sights, I can understand a fuller picture of why that memory is so important. So yes, it is very substantial. And by the look on your face, either the crystal you lick is very powerful or the memory you have was beautiful.
That is true. Perhaps the crystal is enhancing my perception of the situation.
Well, let's not get crazy with the crystal licking. We don't want to abuse something that can be used for good to make it bad.
But what I experienced was it made me remember something dear. The reason we're here and putting ourselves through this hell is to retrieve something that was lost to us, something important. The thing that I had lost was a silver pocket watch that belonged to my dear friend Gideon McCullough, and he is the one that gifted me Alistair on my 10th birthday. It would pain me to have lost that silver pocket watch forever, for that was the pocket watch he had gifted the first Salvador that ran into town begging for help and Gideon, even then when he was about your age, I would say. Looking at how old are you?
I'm 31.
I'm slightly older. He's a halfling. He was in his 40s when Pine Drake was liberated. But now he is an old man. It would pain me to return home or him to see me again and not have that pocket watch. I understand the importance now of getting that pocket watch, but it would have terrified me if I had gotten that pocket watch but didn't understand the absolute importance of it. For Gideon gave me something on my 10th birthday that meant so much, and he knew how much it meant to me, for he knew how much the relationship with my family has been for generations, and I must respect that. I must see to it that I retrieve that pocket watch.
It sounds like it has emboldened your tenacity to get this pocket watch. And if I can help in some way, I will. But let's... First things first, let's make sure Sadie is okay.
Oh, yes, Sadie. Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course that is.
Sadie and her crystal. And a wonderful happy Christmas.
Hey, let's not. You are sounding like an addict, Bartholomew. I have encountered many of people like that are dependent on external sources of validation and joy.
Is it? Do you think so? I wonder if Alistar would appreciate those crystals as well.
I know horses like a salt lick, and a very similar. It's a thing. It's a crystal. You lick it, but
We'll
you
have
should
to ask
probably
Sadie.
talk to Sadie about that.
Yes.
So, Sadie, what are you doing?
I'm playing croquet. I'm not dirtying my dress. I'm eating tiny cakes and sandwiches. And most of all, I'm running around with Gervasio and Like because neither of them will run around with me anymore.
Oh.
Nice. So, Armando, but it's been quite a long time now. What are you going to do?
So I am impatient by nature, and that is something I've been working on, but I'm going to say, excuse me, Bartholomew, I need to see what's going on with Sadie. Maybe she is in trouble. I don't know. So I burst through the door to see what's going on, knowing that I'm going to be like a spirit man, like they were in my memory.
Me too. I'd like to see Sadie's memories as well. I'm pretty sure they're happy.
Let's go. It must be really good or really bad.
And not filled with men with rapiers giving you side eyes.
Okay, so as you burst through, you see the picture I described, the beautiful garden party with many people, and you have the same experience. But obviously, Armando, this is your first time having that experience that the other two had in your memory. The other people are feeling off with your presence. Obviously, you are strange to them. A few of them are feared. Some of them run away. Some of them are screaming even at your presence. Sadie, you sort of see that your friends are starting to freak out really, and they're holding you for like support. They're scared. They don't know what to do.
Aw, they're scared. Aw, I'm scared too. I cower behind my cowering friends.
What are you doing, guys?
Well, I was going to offer them my pamphlet as a way of calming themselves down, but I don't think they're scared of us being strangers. I think it's something different. You said we appeared as spirits in your memory,
dark
correct?
shadows.
Is my voice different? Like, is it more foreboding? Like a spirit would be like very echoey or something like that?
To you, no. It just sounds like you're just speaking. But when if you start saying things, the people start getting even more terrified.
Bart sees this, and as much as I, the player, want to say, can I offer you this pamphlet? Only about something horrifying. I wouldn't do that now.
Okay.
I will be very direct and to the point. I will say, excuse me, everybody, there is no reason to be scared of us. We're not here for you. We are just trying to make sure Sadie is not forgetting what she is supposed to be doing. So, Sadie, I see you over there. I see you hiding. You do not need to be hiding. You need to be doing what you are supposed to be doing. So please get on with it. I'm going to leave now so you can do it in peace. But I'll be back if you are not doing it in like very soon. And so I leave the door after that. I say, Bartholomew, if you want to say something, now is the time because they have we have their complete attention. But I have said what I need to say.
I'm going to do it. I look around real quick, carefully. Everyone's scared when you say, we're not here for you. We're here for Sadie. And everyone's like
screaming.
So I'm going to look around, see the table. I just set my pamphlet down. You can maybe look at it, maybe.
A lot of people just like, oh my God. And
then I step back to the door as well. Take my pamphlet. Read it. There's a crossword puzzle on the back.
Okay, so
Sadie was always an obedient child. So upon hearing it sounds like disapproving tone of Armando, she does indeed focus on her work. She's trying to find the bell of friendship. Can I see 3 cards?
You certainly can. You've got the 10 of spades, the ace of clubs, and the 9 of diamonds. Quite a healthy spread there.
Aces count as 1, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to use my careful power to look at the top card of the main deck and decide whether or not it goes on the bottom.
Okie dokie. So Here is the top card of the deck. Everyone ready?
Okay.
Where is it going?
I am going to draw it.
You're going to draw it? Okay. So you have just drawn the 2 of clubs.
So now I have another one of them close-ended straights, or I don't know. It's like, it's not double-ended.
Yep.
It's only a single card, which is a 3, but I also have 2 clubs.
You do.
So I will push my luck.
You push your luck and you draw.
Oh, no.
No.
Joker.
We're saying no because it is a joker.
Oh.
Okay. So
Draw
Let me
a
shuffle this
jack.
back in.
Draw a jack. For listeners not aware, if you draw a jack, so the zombie deck is the royal cards, so Jack, Queen, and King. And a jack is you're safe, but Queen and King are you're not safe.
So you get
A jack.
You do get a jack. So at this point, you didn't experience. Obviously, you didn't. You had no idea what happened with Bart's experience. But the world starts going dark and grey. Clouds come over. Everyone starts turning to you. Everyone is like full attention onto you. Their eyes start shifting dark and black as their features begin to twist and morph. This is a horrifying thing to experience as they start lurching towards you, trying their best to grab at you. They're sort of, 28 days later, level sprinting at you, trying to grab at you. You can describe now how you managed to escape.
She collapses on the ground at first, like backing up, and she like falls down and she sits. And then she realizes that like her real friends wouldn't do this. So being around strangers empowers her to flee. She finds the strength to get to her knees and then to her feet, and then runs away.
Okay, so she sprints and dives back through as best she can through the door as she's mercilessly chased by these former loved ones and friends. So you're back through into the corridor. At this point, you've seen all 6 doors. As you all stand there, you see ahead of you a glowing pearlescent doorway appears ahead of you, and it is the final room.
I will say to Sadie, who just appeared, because I'm not practicing my swordplay because I don't want to cut her sudden appearance. I say, oh, I'm so glad you made it. You must have done something right because that door just appeared. So congratulations on accomplishing your mission. What did you get?
She looks terrified, not a breath. And she just like doubles over and like puts her hands on her knees and pants. She's not really an exercisey sort of person.
What
and
happened?
then she just looks up at you and she's like, those were not my friends.
What? Can you describe what happened? You still have your memories? Do you not?
Oh yeah. I wish I didn't.
Oh,
Their like faces melted and then they started chasing me. Whew.
Sounds like a nightmare.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Sadie. That sounds overwhelming. And I think that maybe I should have not been so forceful and direct with you, or maybe I should not have scared the people while we were there. Although I blame that on Bartholomew primarily. He is a more intimidating shade than me. However, you are safe now. That was a memory that could have been real. It could have been modified by whatever is controlling this corridor. But Bartholomew is here for you, and I am here for you, and we will keep you safe.
I certainly hope our presence didn't alarm your friends in that memory. I'm sorry if it did. It didn't mean to ruin that wonderful experience and turn it into a nightmare. I can't remember what happened to myself, but I felt like I'd woken up from a nightmare. One of those nightmares you had, but you can't remember the details of, is what it felt like to me. And from what it seems like, I experienced the same thing.
I'm just glad to be here now. Whew. And then she like straightens up, pats off her dress, looks a little bit more put together now that is far away.
Okay, so you have the last place to go. Who is going forward?
Sadie, booking it. It's like, all right, let's leave.
Okay, so you go through this pearlescent it's not a door, it's like a doorway. And as though when you walk through, you're sort of trying to grab a handle, but it's like there's nothing there. And you just sort of step through, and it's like you're stepping through like a sheet. But the sheet sort of goes over your face and over your body, and then you step into a perfectly gigantic white room. But there's nothing in it for some reason. Are the rest of you following?
Of course.
Okay, so you all experience this white room, and as you all step in, the world, the room around you and the world around you is starting to shift and turn, and it's as though like the projections of your thoughts right now are coming forward into this reality, but they're morphing and switching, and they're becoming more aggressive because the thoughts of what Sadie just experienced, what Bart has experienced, these sort of shadowy like figures, they don't seem to have a form. They seem to be what Armando saw, and what Sadie saw. You were all in each other's memories, and as though they're sort of morphing and twisting, and they're coming towards you. And at this point, you realize that if we don't get out of here, we may not get out of here. So at this point, you need to escape. So you need to decide, out of the three of you, who is the leader and who is going to lead the escape through these weird, shifting, horrifying like creatures. They seem to be made out of like an ash or a dust. They don't seem to have like a smoky form, but or a physical form, like an ashen form. As they sort of step and walk, they're leaving these sort of puddles, or not puddles, sort of scorch marks of ash. So who is the leader? Who's going to lead the escape?
Out of character, I'm thinking between Bartholomew and Armando. Who is the most I will stand ground? Because I know Armando's honorable, but so is Bartholomew is brave, and I'm sure I'm not sure how I'd say this, but Bartholomew would look to Armando. Armando, let me get the character. Armando, we are facing this great danger, and as much as I have only known you for so long, if I have so much to live for, but I don't want to stand back. I prefer protecting everyone here. How do you feel about this situation unfolding?
I will tell you how I feel about it. And so I will draw both swords that I have now, two swords, and there is like a harmonious music that is the guitar playing, both of them. And so I got the swords, and I say, what you do best is you are a shooter. So you need to shoot people. I will rush ahead, and I will chop them up with my swords, and you will knock them down with your bullets. And then Sadie, I guess, could maybe offer drugs to them to put them incapacitated or something. I don't know. But she is very powerful, and I do not want to screw with Sadie because I think she could mess us all up.
I'll heal you if you get injured.
Oh, I like that idea too. So, vámonos. And I take my swords and I rush at the closest spirit with my two swords, and I start attacking.
Bartholomew is taken greatly aback of this rampant bravery, reckless abandon. He was going to ask, if you fall, what do you have any last wish before you fall? But he's already rushed out there. He's like, he looks back at Sadie with her rocks and thinking, well, I will do my best to learn if Armando falls without telling me anything. I will do my best to learn of his legacy and hold him up and hold his name up high and and find out how to continue his legacy.
This might help. And I toss you a crystal to lick.
Bartholomew's looking at this crystal. It's like, but Sadie, now it's not. He's looking at it, thinking of how good it felt that first lick.
Okay, so at this moment, he's
distracted.
Yeah, you are being bum rushed at this point.
No, this will help. This will help. It's 2S and methyl, one.
Not now, Sadie.
We're being rushed. Trust me.
So yeah, Armando, you are leading the charge. as you're sort of swipe, cutting down these ashen creatures. Every time you cut one down, they sort of like fall to the ground, and then as though the dust or ash just seems to rush away to some unknown location. You seem to be defeating them, but you don't know what is happening at this point. You just like cut, and Bart is shooting as fast as he can.
Bart understands exactly what this is. These are the revenants. This is what they do. When you cut them down, they disperse into dust and go back to some of Bart's freaking out. He understands these are not your typical shaded figures. These are the revenants. He's laser focused. He doesn't want anything to do with that crystal. He's not thinking about Armando anymore. He is in full he's full trauma mode, traumatized by the revenants swarming. This is the entire army on the anniversary of the Day of Liberation. This is the entire swarm, and it's just the three of us. We have to do what we can to fight them back. Fully, just all of his motions of loading the gun, one action quickly.
Load and draw for 5, load for 5. You know the rules.
He's going every round is the entire thing. He's shooting every action.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So your final 3 cards are 7 of hearts, 7 of diamonds, and the 5 of diamonds. So you've got 2 7s and 2 diamonds. When you push your luck at this point, you'll be needing to give me some more battle descriptions.
We have already drawn the 7 of clubs. So just to give you a heads up, there's only 1 7 left in the deck. And we've already drawn the 5 of hearts and the 5 of clubs and the 5 of spades. So there's no 5s left.
What about a 6th? Are there many 6th or diamonds?
All 6s have been drawn.
Yep, I got a 6 here. Yeah.
There's some diamonds left, but yeah.
So, Armando, this is you. How are you
All right.
pushing your luck to draw the final card?
Well, I would like to use my daring adjective and then look at the top 2 cards in the main deck. So let's do that in a secret, and then maybe we draw them, maybe we shuffle.
Okay, so I'm going to draw the cards now and show you them. So the first card is, and the second card is.
Okay. Very good. Oh, this is my skill.
This is his
I'm
skill.
using my skill. You're not supposed to be looking.
I'm not looking. Not looking.
Lady,
not looking.
look away.
No, not looking.
All right.
Sorry.
First card.
Okay,
First
that
card,
is
second
perfectly good. You may put them back in the deck. I will draw. I will not shuffle.
Okay, so you draw the 7 of spades.
Oh,
And
what are the
get
odds of that
7,
happening?
7,
That is
7.
amazing.
You got 3 7s, which gives you a 3 of a kind.
Whoa.
So you managed to push past fighting these strange entities as you push through, and you get to a point where you feel like you walk through into a bubble. The bubble, like as though the world has shifted around you, and all the bright lights that were surrounding you at this point have completely dimmed, and they're focused on a table in front of you. So this is a pristine white, seemingly hewn from marble, this table. Yeah, it's ethereal, and it's sort of bending and shifting as though it's refracting its own luminescence. It's a very strange thing. And then you hear a voice resonating. It's not really audible, but it's echoing in your mind, and it seems to be emanating from every different direction. Place the artifacts upon the surface, and we can commence.
Bartholomew takes out the flower he got from Gideon and places it on the table.
You got 4, so who's placing the next 3?
Sadie has a quill.
I will first put the coin with not a second thought, but then I pull out the rapier and I reflect on what Emil meant to me, and his words echo in my mind about being brave and being a self-control and how honor is the most important. So I put the sword down, knowing that I may never see it again, and that is okay.
Okay, so as the artifacts are find their place, a humanoid form materializes behind the mysterious table. A distant hum reverberates, a symphony of unseen realms making their arrival. Their face veiled in a mist, prism-like, and it radiates like a diamond. Its body twitches and shudders subtly at the edges as if it doesn't exist in this tangible present, but is projected from some different dimension beyond the realm that you inhabit. I am projecting myself through the cosmic interdimensional waves from my home in the Interpol. I can travel through the memories of people. It's like time travel, but better. Thank you for all the wonderful memories that you've shared with me. It is nice to see you all again. And the voice sort of has a sort of a jollier version of the man that you met earlier, the one with the letter.
So, are you a servant, quote-unquote servant? Or are you the master, quote-unquote master? Or have you been the same person this whole time?
I am all things at all times.
So, are you me also?
I've shared your memories. I have traveled with you, all together. I have become part of you, and you have become part of the experience that I share with everybody who takes on the risks and the reward. Now, speaking of rewards, I'm sure you would like to have your rewards for the effort that you've given.
Yes, I suppose. I hope that it's not a lifetime of servitude.
Well, that's your choice. For I give you the choice.
By no means, no. I do not want to be a servant.
Many of you enjoyed the memories. If you wish, you can go there forever. Or you can have another gift, the gift that I promised. I give you the choice right now. Do you want to live in your memories forever or go into the future?
For myself, Bartholomew, I have made the decision to, the memories I hold were near and dear to me, but the circumstance back then and even now, I must stay here where I am. There's something greater than living through my happiest memories again and again that must be dealt with. So I will take the silver locket I have lost.
Sadie, what do you say?
On the one hand, it was really nice to be in the garden. On the other hand, I'm good on that for a little bit. Just with the way it ended.
And you, Armando, what do you choose?
I choose to apologize to Sadie for ruining that memory in her mind. Like, it sounded like she was having a very good time. And I may have been a little short with the people there, you know? So I will, as an aside, talk to Sadie and say, hey, I'm very sorry about that. That was not what I was hoping was going to happen. But then I talk to this ethereal voice and say, you know what? You have provided me a memory that is very valuable to me. I can take with me going forward the honor that was imbued in me by Emil, and I can remember the fact that my parents were assassinated and that I need to find the person that did it so I can give him what's coming to him, you know what I mean? And that is enough. That is enough for me. But I mean, it's up to you. If you want to give me something more than that, I will not shy away from it.
Well, I am very happy with your decisions. I'm sure we'll meet again. Armando, you did so well. You retrieved 2 very difficult items from very difficult memories at times. I can give you your sword back. And the sword appears in your hand. But it's better this time. It's cleaner. It has a different resonance to it. It feels different. It's as though the one you had was the memory, but this is the real version of it. It feels different. It feels heavier. It feels more substantial.
I will take it and say thank you. And this means this is a significant gift you have given me. And I greatly appreciate it.
Bartholomew, you tried, but you didn't succeed as much as I'd hoped. I will give you a clue to where this pocket watch resides, and I will do my best to help you find it.
I see, yes. It is better than nothing and gives me something to look forward to for having lost one of my memories, and for being distracted by happier times. I should be more. It's taught me to be more focused on what the duty, what needs to be done, and to recollect on those memories during times when appropriate, but during such duties as going on this adventure and helping my fellow compatriots, I should not have been as distracted. So in that case, yes, I would appreciate knowing the knowledge, and I feel it is a proper reward.
I will give you a riddle, and it will tell you the location. Sweat and red is the place. It hangs like delicate lace. A sword, a bounty, and a ship's debris. A watch now dulled under the sea. And Sadie, you too.
He writes that down very quickly and very fluently with his calligraphy skills, but the player of Bartholomew does not write that quickly.
That's fine.
I
will give them to you directly.
Thank you.
Sadie, you did.
Very well, very eloquent, though.
You did it just as well. And I can also give you details of which to find the beautiful lost earring. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Where stories told and embers grow, a diamond lies that cannot glow. Within the grasp, a creature fair, fur and canvas, its secret lair.
That's a riddle.
So, as swiftly as the celestial presence manifested, it dissipates. The table and its artifacts fading into an abyss of darkness. A brief interlude ensues, and a profound void grips your senses, and a creeping anxiety takes root in your mind. Seconds stretch into an eternity of silence and emptiness, devoid of sight, and a vacuum of nothingness. Gradually, a smoky haze, akin to the shades of grey, permeates the surroundings, revealing the guild behind this ethereal curtain. A mist thickens, and suddenly you find yourself seamlessly back in the familiar hall as though you never departed your seats. Everything appears undisturbed, unchanged, yet an unsettling sensation lingers and a subtle discord, as if you've genuinely forgotten the reasons and means of your departure. Fading like a distant memory, slipping further and further away. Can you grasp onto it before it vanishes into the recesses of oblivion?
Bartholomew shakes his head. Back in the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. Oh, that poetry, that riddle lingers in my mind. Were we asleep, awake the entire time? Did anyone remember? Wait, Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. Wait, that's right. I'm here looking for a job on I go to look at the jobs board for a mission.
You go over and you see you see Guvo standing there looking at the jobs board. Oh, Bot, I see that you've come over. I've just finished feeding Alastar some carrots. Have you had a nice day today?
I don't know.
And he sort of pats you on the shoulder. Don't worry. How was Sadie and Armando at this point?
I think as the memories are fading, like the nostalgia that I had at the academy and the fear that I had to fight through at my parents' house, like they begin to fade. And but what I have in my hand is very real, and it is the hope bringer. And when I feel its power, and when I look at the sword, and it is an actual thing, like I think I can handle, I think that is a memory of what actually transpired. It brings hints of my experience. Like I can get on the edges of the memories of talking to Emil again, or experiencing the fear in my body in the home of my parents when they were assassinated. And I can always, forever, from now on, like just barely remember these things. They never fade completely because I have this thing that is a tangible representation of these events.
Sadie decides to visit her friends, Gervasio and Lika, again. It's been a while because it's been so awkward, you know? But at the end of the day, they'll always be childhood friends together.
Nice. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and thank you to everyone for playing. I was today joined by Sadie.
Bye.
Bartholomew.
It looks like my horse Alistar is full and happy. Time to take on the day with a new perspective.
And Armando.
I can go forward with more confidence because there are people that believe in me, and there are friends that I have that I believe in them too. And together we will go far.
Thank you, everybody, and see you on the next episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've reached the afterword, where we tell you about a show that you might enjoy. Have you heard of Appalachian murder, mystery, and legend? Learn about the true Appalachian life, mysteries, legends, and history. The host was born and raised in the Appalachian Mountains of Southwest Virginia. Let them take you on a fantastic journey through the Appalachian Mountains, exploring everything from murder, native folklore, and legend to true stories of hardship and what makes Appalachian life, Appalachian life. Come join Appalachian Murder, Mystery, and Legend, a podcast.